So we're live. I didn't even want this to be the thumbnail, but the fire is the real reason. It's not Cody. I just wanted to be sure. The fire is the reason the thumbnail is there, not Cody Rhodes.
Yes, let the fire. The fire is more over than both of them. And may I say, this is the most necessary thumbnail for the most unnecessary spot in probably television history. This is he
just to get Brandi. It was just to get Brandi back. That was the only reason, because there was no intention to set out on fire.
No, the intention was Cody wants to be loved, and he feel like I have to go through the fire to get through love, and these people want me to go through fire. Fuck it, I go through fire. This is desperation.
No,
I smell it.
No, this was them trying to get extra content for their reality show. So, Brandi's big return. Oh, everyone, go watch Brandi's big return. And the backstage of Brandi's big return when she comes back and sets fire to the table. No one cares.
I bet you we get to see all the backstage and him working through the fire. It was like, I'm really concerned about my well-being tonight as I go through the fire. On the season finale of season 2 of Ms. and Mrs., but not really.
So this was the other candidate.
You know, honestly, I watched the match and I've seen this, and even now you can tell me I still don't know what's going on right here, Manny.
Yeah, and then it was a lot of AEW heavy because the NXT really gave me nothing.
It did. Oh, super kick to the chair. And that's Johnny Gargano's last match.
Yeah, it feels like it's definitely the last match. Apparently, Kyle O'Reilly has rejected the contract too.
No, yeah, I don't know who thought he was coming back.
Some.
There's nothing about what he's doing right now saying he's coming back.
So we'll be back right after this.
I'm Shotzi Blackheart, the ballsy badass, and you are watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Remember to like the video and subscribe.
Hey! Oh! Check out the Marcus and Manny show.
I hate you both right now. You guys are ridiculous.
It's
and Darby Allin.
Welcome everyone to the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I'm of course Lord Manny Hayes, and he is
Marcus the Grand Finale.
And if you can pay close attention, Marcus is wearing an Ilya Dragunov shirt, which I just realized, and Ilya Dragunov is going against Rampage Brown tonight.
Yes, tonight. And you know how we cover Rampage Brown matches. We do live.
We just keep saying Rampage Brown. Do you know what? For Saturday, instead of covering Rampage, can we just cover Rampage Brown? And just not tell Eric. And not tell Eric. We're not even going to cover Rampage. We're going to just talk about Rampage Brown versus Ilya Dragunov.
We'll put Eric in the backstage little box action as we go. It's time for the main event where we talk about Rampage Brown. And I think in the entire night of the show, we should be like, we're covering NXT Rampage. Eric's going to try to correct us, and we're not going to say anything. You mean NXT Rampage? Later in the show, we're covering NXT Rampage. Brown.
A Luchador, I know it was you that voted for Brandi in the poll that's in the chat, because it was at 100% when you came in. And I'm gonna banish you if you continue this disruption to the show. But if you're watching, do participate in that poll. So where do you want to start? How are you doing today?
I want to start with Dynamite. And I don't even want to start Dynamite right. I want to start with the end of the show of Dynamite.
Oh wow, we're going to the end of the show.
I want to go full rampage on this show right now and give all the news right away.
Okay, so let's kick off with AEW Dynamite.
And skip right to the main event.
So the main enough talk. It is now time for the main event. I can't do it properly. How do you do that? What are you specifically looking at to make your eyes go so cross-eyed?
I just go into a tap of myself that has full confusion of why I'm here.
Okay, so the main event was Andrade El Idolo versus Cody Rhodes in an Atlanta street fight. I didn't make many notes on this because I thought this match was ridiculous for happening. And then I was obviously watching the Fight TV feed, which cut off in the middle of it. So normally when I drop the bomb, there's that test screen that goes, woo! That's pretty much what I got for about 5 minutes of this match. And I only saw the aftermath of the golden shovel.
Okay, so Manny, I want to, before we even dive into the match per se, and go over everything in it, I want to say, I want to see if I have the complete story of Andrade versus Cody, the rivalry, all together right now. Cody is wrestling. No, that's Belak when he decides to retire. Somewhere on that show, Andrade makes his debut with Vicky, and then him and Cody somehow get into it, I think. And that's pretty much been it, right? There hasn't been much going on in this feud, right?
There's no feud. Because it was only when I think it was a triple threat between Pac, Aleister Black, and Andrade, I think.
There was a ladder, maybe?
No, or it was an Aleister Black versus Pac, or something like that. And then Black turned up. And then them two were going to beat up Pac. And then Cody ran out to save them. Then tag WWE booking, tag match. Let's throw everyone together for Full Gear.
Can they coexist?
And then suddenly we get this match of Cody and Andrade with no build to it. But it's an Atlanta street fight. Because last week they had that 6 or 8 man tag, which didn't make sense either.
Okay. Just to clarify that this story wasn't really deep and had no long-term booking strategy whatsoever, and it yet was still the main event, and that is the main reason I think people hate Cody. That this random ass street fight happened to close Dynamite. And did it happen, and they decided to go full fire through tables and everything else. And the match I knew was going to start off. I knew this match was going to be amazing once I saw Arn Anderson fall off the stage.
I thought, do you know what?
Oh no!
So for a second, I thought he was pushed off the stage. And then I rewound it. No, he didn't. He just fell off the stage. This is the second time he's falling off things. Falling off the apron.
For no reason either. And he just fell. And then you see them cut to the ring or whatever the match is going on. They have their, I guess, drone shot or whatever it is. And you see the translator helping him out of the situation. I'm going like, I really hope Arn's okay. I don't know why we started this. And then to start, you see Cody's back after he took off his robe and his elaborate entrance. And you go, what the fuck happened to his back? And then, I don't know where everybody else's mind went. But my mind went, why is his back messed up? Why does he have glue or wax on there and feathers? Was that a cheap jacket? No, it's not the jacket. And then all of a sudden, in my mind, no one else told me this. I ain't reading spoilers. I didn't jump ahead or nothing. I watched this live. But in my head, I went, Oh my God, I think Cody set himself on fire. Alright, him and Andrade are about to go through some fire. That's what went through my head. It looks like, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, and I think I might be wrong. And cancel me if I'm wrong, but it's finally retarded? Or torted? Jail or something? So that's what it was.
Something like
retarded? Retarded?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to say it right. But it's, I was like, that's what's going on. And that's why Andrade's wearing his outfit, and he's wrestling in a suit. And I was like, they're going through fire tonight. That was where I went to. And the entire match, I was like, I wonder what they're going to do with this fire stuff. And then I doubted myself for just a moment. I was like, maybe Cody's just stupid and just fucked up his back. But anyway, they go through this match. They're fighting in the crowd. They're throwing jumps on each other. There's all types of stuff happening. They're following on exposed concrete. Cody decides to make subtle references to WWE by pulling out a sledgehammer, but giving up for the golden shovel or whatnot. They throw Cody's weight belt into the crowd, expecting it to come back, but it did not. Because some fan decided, no, I'm keeping this shit. And they set up table for Aqua Time. They fight on top ropes for Aqua Time so Brandi can make a save. Or not a save, but light a table on fire with gasoline. And so Cody can throw himself through. And at the end of this match, I went, that was completely unnecessary. Yep. And why, God? Why did that have to happen? For this. And it came to me to conclusion of, and I was thinking about this as I turned to the pre-show of the Clipper game. Why did I just watch a man throw himself through fire? Did he really need the love that much? Did he really need people to love him? Fine, Cody. Fine. I'm going to cheer you, okay? Wow. Great moment. That's what you get for that. Wow, you took shots at WWE. Cody, I gotta cheer you. Whatever it took, you were begging to be loved, and then it came down to one thing of why it was Andrade in the match, which was my final conclusion, is because Malachi said, I ain't doing that shit. For what, so you can be loved? Nah, I'm not putting myself through fire. I'm calling out this Wednesday.
Yeah, and
that's
honestly,
why this happened.
At the end of the day, the match was not good either. Like it was, I can't say that this match was good.
I can't say it's, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because I did not enjoy it. Did you enjoy it?
I'm going to say the match would have been alright if it wasn't for the finish and if it wasn't for Cody Rhodes taking me out of the match with the way his back looked and the pettiness of him pulling out a sledgehammer, which is a dated Triple H shot from like 2 or 3 years ago, when Triple H was alive and well and running NXT. But no, this had no reason to be there. It just took me out. Pettiness.
And yeah,
too many questions.
So let's get on with the rest of the show.
Why was this the main event, Manny? Why was this the main event?
I don't.
Why isn't their biggest stars main eventing the show? And by biggest stars, I mean Bryan Danielson, Hangman Page, CM Punk, hell, even the Young Bucks or Adam Cole or Ruby Soho or something. Give me a match that has meaning and purpose to close the show. I wish that they would treat their championships, their AEW championship, like they treat the I guess like WWE, in which the champion is there, that the champion exists.
Okay, so Lucha Talk said it was alright, but would have been better with a longer story and build up. But you don't get that in AEW. All you do is get, oh, this is a great match. Great. Good for you. I need story. I need story to complete everything. AEW is like a Pac-Man. Great match. And then you're missing the story every time. I need that story to pull me in. Even if it's, oh, this guy stole my girl. I still need story in that.
Yeah. So, the last time, or not the last time, but the big fire moment on a major promotion would be, and not talking about anything on the indies or anything like that, but the last big fire moment was Edge spearing Mick Foley through fire, right? I think I'm correct on that, right? I think that was the big last fire moment, other than the Inferno match between The Fiend and Randy Orton.
How dare you? That was our biggest video for at one point.
Other than that,
How
I'm
dare
sorry.
you?
Which, by the way, was a really solid Inferno match. I really enjoyed the shit out of that.
Wait, there was multiple fire spots leading up to that.
Yeah. And then, there's the light you on fire. But it was about the fire. And they had a story around it. And even in Edge and Mick Foley, it was like the story was Mick Foley has never had his WrestleMania. This is the hardcore legend. This is probably his final match. He ended up going to TNA and all types of shit. But it had this story of like, this needs to happen. This will happen. And when he put him through the fire, it was set up nicely too, because it was Mick who originally was going to set Edge on fire. But Lita was like, nah, son, you ain't doing that to my man. I'm going to burn your ass now. And it worked. It was nice. This one was plotting, and like they were awkwardly on top of the thing for a bit. And I just thought it was unnecessary, and we shouldn't be here. Don't waste it on TV. Don't just randomly do this. No advertising that someone's gonna fight somebody in a blood feud. It's like we got this like a week advance, and that this match is happening without much build up, and that this just happened on free TV. I know those people probably in the stadium going, wow, what a moment. My life is great. This has changed my life. AEW so awesome. This is great. But you could have had it better. It could have been so much better. It could have meant more. It could have came from somewhere else. This could have been on a big show involving a big feud. If this involved Aleister and Cody, or Malachi and Cody, or if this was the end to the MJF CM Punk feud for God knows what reason, or this was the end to Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega, or whatever they were doing, or the Jericho feud, or whatever, and the many other feuds that AEW have presented. No, it happened on a random ass Dynamite. No one's gonna remember this, except for the people who were at that event. People are gonna say, "Oh yeah, that did happen this year. Cody did throw himself in fire." It means nothing. Sorry for the rant. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
Apologize.
AEW kicked off with Bryan Danielson versus Alan Angels.
Hope Arn Anderson's okay.
I don't. It was a good. I like how you that was your train of thought, and then I quickly said I don't, and then tried to carry on with what I was doing.
I don't.
So it was a good match. Danielson pretty much toyed with Alan Angels the entire match. But Hangman was on commentary, and he was as bad as Kenny Omega on commentary.
Yeah, it's the lack of what's that word? Charisma that you want for somebody. I feel like Bryan Danielson carried this entire segment on his back. Alan Angels looked like a joke. Does not look like a professional wrestler to me at all. He looks like another version of Stu Grayson, which is a worse version of Stu Grayson. Which are moderations of Gilbert. And Bryan Danielson, I'm glad, did not struggle. This match was over in like 5 minutes. And he got onto the mic and he cut a heel promo, and him and Adam Page did their segment for the night, and they basically just treated it like their women's division, in which the champion only gets one segment per night, and that's it. That is the limit, and it's at the start of the show. I would have liked to hear from Adam Page again later. I would like to hear from Bryan Danielson again later, but all we got was that they're going to fight as winter is coming, and I'm really disappointed. And when this should be the backbone of your show, you want to keep viewers on this show, you want to keep people watching your show, give me something to bite on with your world champion. Your world champion means nothing. He's never really there. He has one segment.
Yeah, and then so the line was Bryan Danielson said he's going to show the world that Hangman Page is a one-hit wonder, and it's not cowboy shit, it's coward shit.
Yeah, he's brought that up before. And do you have Danielson winning? And I know we're going to ask this question probably like several more times before winter is coming, which is like 2 weeks away, only on TNT. I feel like that was an ad. But do you feel like Danielson's winning? I think Bryan Danielson has to win.
He has to win, but I don't think they could do. They're not going to do that to Hangman, given how long you had to wait for him to be champion. But stranger things have happened because winter is coming as their kind of like they're trying to make that their big deal, like Dynamite show, themed Dynamite show. So maybe. But I need to ask you this question.
Sting debuted. Yes.
Yeah, that is the question I'm going to ask you. So Sting debuted. Kenny won the title. That was a good show. However, what has Sting actually done in this year? He's been on AEW other than be
Oh, come on. No,
a
no,
presence.
I would not Sting, I can say bad stuff about Sting, but Sting has done his part for the most part of the year. He's made his debut. We had multiple interviews with Sting for whatever reasons where he never said anything. He's had solid wrestling matches. I'm not gonna say they're good. I'm not gonna say they're bad, but he's a 60-year-old man. I'll let him have it. And then he's had the cinematic match with Darby. And I'm gonna give Sting's had a solid year. A solid year. Is it mind blowing? No, but someone who think they had probably a big year is Tony Schiavone for yelling it's Sting.
Levi said Danielson isn't winning, but if he does, I can see someone turning on Hangman.
Who would turn on Hangman though?
I don't think it's a turning. I think it'll just be the next challenger. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I think it'd just be the next chapter of Hangman.
Or 2.0 and Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, because that's what they do. They randomly attack people. That's all they do, and that's their whole character, is that we randomly attacking people for whatever reason. Whether it's Eddie Kingston eating cake, or it's Jericho 2 weeks ago before he attacked.
Levi, your statement is incorrect.
No.
Sting's turn is the same as Edge. No, because that man, Edge, is doing hurricane runners off the top rope.
All right, let's do the comparisons of returns a year. Edge wins Royal Rumble, feuds with Seth Rollins for multiple months, finished the feud in Saudi Arabia, has really had the greatest match ever. I'm assuming that's 2 years ago, probably. But main event at WrestleMania, lost, turned heel in the middle of that, and now it's feuding with The Miz. I'm gonna say Edge had a better year. Edge hasn't had a stinker of a match. All his matches have been really good. And that may be a subjective look.
I feel like Levi's disagreeing with you, is that Edge has had long, boring matches and ripped off Punk on Monday. They did rip off that segment, but I feel like it was a nod that they acknowledged that AEW existed last week.
Yeah. I mean, it does count. But is it really a ripoff if more people watch your segment than they did? Double the people? I'm just saying. It is a ripoff. 100%. But no one's going to remember the Punk MJF segment, sadly. In the grand scheme of it all. Even though how great that was, and it should be remembered. They're going to remember that time the Miz returned on Edge. And it's going to be this random WWE fan base going like, I don't remember seeing this ever. Because Cody threw himself through a fire.
Yeah, and then so Miro is trapped in the Phantom Zone working out what he should do. He had a vision, and it sounds like he's going to kill his god.
Yes. We're about to get God of War with Miro. Can't wait. Enjoyed the package. I enjoy me some Miro.
Yeah, I feel Miro needs to be like one of the leading characters. Miro's above Cody.
Yeah.
Everything Miro has done in the entirety of AEW is more exciting. No, everything Miro has done, I can't say anything Cody has done is exciting in AEW.
No,
his best friend run was awful. His Redeemer is the best thing.
Okay.
The best thing going on AEW for a very long time.
Yeah, but you have to exclude about a year, almost 6 months of that best friend stuff, and I can't do that. I would not say Cody was not bigger than Miro. Cody has more memorable. At least he had a dog collar match in there, and just shit that just goes over the top. Everything Cody does is just too much. It's just too much. He doesn't know. No one tells him this should be the cutoff point. But I agree, Miro greater than Cody. And I feel like this whole show was very top heavy, and all the acts I wanted to see happened all back to back, and it leaves you going like, oh, we're going to Cody, who makes you hate him more because you don't feel like he should be in the main event when you have CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Sting, Adam Cole, Miro, and all these other people all in the first hour. And then the second hour, you just throw Cody in a match, and then you have Ruby Soho versus Statlander.
So we get CM Punk versus Lee Moriarty. MJF was really pushing that story of Punk hasn't got it anymore on commentary. The match itself was good. But again, to go with the commentary, Punk shouldn't have taken that long to defeat Lee Moriarty.
Okay, so my main issue with this storyline, it was fine. It was fine. It was a solid match. And I understand the story to tell you that Punk is struggling. He's trying to keep up or whatever the case is. He's been gone 7 years and whatnot. Whatever. I don't care. My main issue, if every AEW match wasn't a back and forth fight like they have, then this would mean more about the struggle. But because every match is back and forth, or someone that's not ranked is giving someone like Kenny Omega a run for their money, it really takes away the Punk struggle, because everybody's going through the struggle, because everybody's kind of equal, except for Alan Angels, who got his face stuffed in and murdered this week. But everybody seems to be equal on par with everybody else, and it just seems like that takes away from this feud. I think it's still a solid match. I don't like Lee Moriarty's entrance at all. I don't understand Skip. I don't understand why he has a panther back there, and then he comes out shucking and jiving. That is shucking and jiving. I don't care. Every time I Swerve was shucking and jiving, that was shucking and jiving.
So MJF on the mic said the only thing CM Punk is the best in the world at these days is trying to get into Britt Baker's pants. CM Punk retorts Lee Moriarty and QT Marshall are better than him and he knows it, and then says MJF has a needle dick. And then to end the promo, MJF claims to murder Punk's dog Larry, which didn't end.
He threatened him. He threatened him. He didn't say he did it. He said he threatened him. Odd moment of the promo. And I don't get why this was brought up, and I'm still confused, going like, what's going on in the back? CM Punk.
No, more.
Britt Baker. What the fuck was that about?
If you want to, there's more of what the fuck is going to happen. It's going to come up because I brought out a piece of paper and tried to work out math earlier.
No. Let's not get the task. What was the point of the Britt Baker comment of CM Punk and
last week, because it was basically because last week he went, you didn't realize you've been replaced as a pillar by Britt Baker.
Oh, see, I didn't put that. I just went like, that was out of nowhere. And I was trying to remember a segment where they were even together. Like, none of that connected.
And then that video got released at the end of Dynamite last week where Punk came out wearing Britt Baker's ring jacket.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I didn't watch all of it. I just saw him walk into the ring with it on.
I thought we had a little bit of the old Sunny Days promo.
Yeah.
Something like, I was like, does AJ know about this? The fuck is this? What's he doing? Put my business out there.
I'm going to gloss over these things very quickly. Orange Cassidy and more elite nonsense as they do the fake super kicks like Orange Cassidy, and then they kill him. And then Chris Jericho.
Why did that happen?
I don't know.
Why did Adam Cole go full Shinsuke boots? Just come out there for an intro. He came out there, Adam Cole, baby, did the boom, full intro, sat at a commentator's table for what match? What match was happening? Orange Cassidy walks out, stares at Adam Cole. This is the most, I'm going to say it, this is the AEW's WWE moment of the week. None of this should have occurred. None of this. This made no sense to me. I was so confused of why anybody was even out there. Cut to the back.
So Chris Jericho gets killed by 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. Wardlow versus AC Adams happened. Why does Wardlow get squash matches and nobody else?
Yeah. Wardlow went through this dude, and I was like, yes, more squash matches. I support the squash. 2, my favorite matches of the night on Dynamite. Daniel Bryan squashing Alan Angels. Wardlow squashing some guy I will never remember. Fucking beautiful.
Then we get the Gun Club versus Darby Allin and Sting.
Sting!
With matching face paint.
Why did they break this out again? Another random thing. Why did they break out the matching face paint for a random Dynamite? Like, it just seemed like, oh, we're gonna do it big tonight. Why? We're in Atlanta. Sting's back in Atlanta, and I'm like, all right, but I don't feel like this is all necessary.
I hated this whole thing. I hate the whole thing.
Did
despite
you?
numerous attempts, numerous times where I could have asked you how about that dive, but it feels like he missed on every attempt.
He did. I remember he jumped on somebody and ricocheted on the second jump. And he jumped and ricocheted off another man. I was like, that really just hurt Darby Allin right there. He shows how light he is. Oh, the Gun Club suffered their first loss, and I was really upset and sad. I don't think
anyone should be losing to a Scorpion Death Drop in 2021. When you think about how far wrestling has progressed, no one should be losing to this ring.
It's like losing to a body slam at this point.
Okay,
but they need to advertise Sting matches. I think TNT needs to jump on their ass. This is Sting. 60-year-old man, you should be like, yeah, we're having Sting.
I don't know if this is going to come up, but I've attempted math.
All right, there it is.
So Taz said...
That's when the teacher asks you to show you your work.
So Taz said 25% of Team Taz members are in the Battle Royal next week. So 3 out of 12 men are in this Battle Royal of Team Taz. That gives them 125% chance to win this thing. I don't understand the math here.
I don't know how...
Because surely it's 3 divided by 12. That's the percentage of how they would win this match. And that would be 25%, not 125%.
Well, it doesn't matter, Manny. It doesn't matter. I was thinking it should have been 100, because they have 3. And it should have been 125%, I feel like. Oh, no, not 125. He got 125, but I think each of them it's 100% of Team Taz winning. And each of them had 25. I don't know how he got there. It didn't matter. It's wrestling math.
No, and then
Hill math is the best.
And then Lio Rush came out, and then the whole thing started to not make sense. Because he said the odds are always stacked against him his entire career. It's crazy to him that Taz said they have 100% chance of winning, which means he didn't listen to what Taz was saying, because Taz said he had 125% chance of winning. Therefore, therefore, that insinuates he has a 0% chance of winning, but he's a fighter. Okay.
He really had, technically, if he was listening to Taz, Lio Rush has negative 25% chance of winning. I'm just saying.
And then
I'm a fighter, a little scrappy little guy.
And then he said he won't be going down with a fight. Taz said he'd better off retiring as they parade Dante Martin in front of him.
I'm going to go with, I know we talked about everything as Cody's unnecessary fire. Well, this is the worst segment of the night. Because, one, it involves Team Taz and whatever they're doing. It never makes sense. And then Lio Rush comes out there and he says, I'm an underdog babyface, guys, and I don't care what you say, I'm a fighter. No one even brought him up. And he walked out there, and the crowd seemed confused because they can't hear Taz on commentary. So he's just out there talking. And I can just imagine me in the crowd, and the fuck's this guy on about? What is he on about? What's he talking about?
Realistically, if you want to be accurate, Lio Rush actually has an 8.3% chance of winning. That's 1 divided by 12 people times 100.
Do we actually have all the names in this Dynamite Battle Royal?
No, I only know 4. No, actually, I only know 1. It's Lio Rush.
And Team Cash, right? Hobbs?
Yeah, I'm getting Hobbs.
Dante Martin,
and probably Ricky, because they don't put Hook in anything.
No, you can't put Hook in there. Hook's just there. Hook is there. He's the most dangerous one. If he ever gets his hands dirty, they're in trouble. But yeah, Lio Rush needs to shut the fuck up. As Taz said, go retire, Leo. Go retire. Lio Rush, I don't know, all of a sudden, he was the 24-year-old piece of gold, a 23-year-old piece of gold. Well, I feel like this motherfucker has aged every time he's retired by 10 years. I don't know why he felt old. I was like, he looks old right now. And I'm like, I know he's like 24, but he felt old.
So we get for this show, this is the main event. which Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho. Do you know, it started off really slow. They went to commercial and then I think it picked up as the match went on. I enjoyed it. I enjoy watching Chris Statlander. Ruby Soho, I don't buy her as even a mid-tier wrestler.
Oh.
I just don't buy it.
So, my takeaway for this is, in my so-called mental notes, because I don't write shit down apparently, Ruby Soho and Statlander decides to have the exact same match as Punk and Lee Moriarty, but not as good to start this match. It was the exact same thing. Move for move. Move for move, I felt like. I didn't go back and look at it, but I felt like move for move, they had the exact same match, but just not as good. And then they have the match, and it's a little clunky going on, and Ruby has an overreaction to it. I think she kicked out of a body slam. I don't know what it was, but Ruby thought it was over. I think it was just a super kick, to be honest. And Ruby thought it was over, and she's like, ah! How can that be possible? And I was like, she went full anime on that one. And then they lost, and Nyla Rose comes out and makes the attack. Oh, at the end of the day, I knew Nyla Rose was attacking whoever was winning this match.
Yeah. So, I wasn't a big fan of AEW this week.
No. I feel like they threw everything at me. And I went like this. And dodged
Matrix.
Yeah. The fuck is this? Why is Leo Rush? Cody on fire?
Okay, let's move into go on.
Yeah. I just want to say one last thing about Dynamite. All I want, and I'm saying this right now, from an AEW show, and they don't give me enough of it. I just want Bryan Danielson. I just want CM Punk MJF. I want the Hangman storyline, and I want whatever Miro was throwing at me. After that, I just feel like everything else is just like, let's see what else we can throw at him this week. That's all I want.
Okay, so let's move over onto NXT. So NXT, I managed to fix the logo, by the way, because it was bothering me for the last 2 weeks that the logo was above. It was touching our boxes.
Yeah.
That took me 2 hours.
You had enough of it down south slanging. Got it.
So NXT kicks off with a brawl between the women's Wargames teams before leading into Dakota Kai versus Kaylee Ray for the ladder match for the Wargames advantage. It was a good way to kick off the show.
Yeah, but Manny, I want to look at you right now. How's that dive? Kaylee Ray with the dive of the week.
Terrible. It wasn't good.
It was good. It was good. What?
No.
She landed it flush. It came out of nowhere. She's very athletic. I enjoyed the shot. That was a good dive.
And then,
How did you hate that dive?
It wasn't the best ladder match, but it served its purpose.
I enjoyed the ladder match, and that might be the. I'm going to say this. My review of NXT: enjoyed ladder match. Fast forward to the end. Enjoyed ladder match.
Okay, so we continue with the downfall of GYV as they are breaking into Briggs and Jensen's locker.
For what? Look at these blue collared fucking guys in their flannel shirts and jeans in their locker.
Marcus, shh.
You know what the worst part is?
This is the whole segment turned into.
Yeah, your boys Jack and Time seem to be in on the crime too. They wanted what is in there. I was like, are we still the egg? Is the egg in there? Fuck, that's $100 million.
They've just made these Japanese kids just into jokes.
Yeah, well, come on. What's the original Jack and Time guy? I already forgot his name. Not Kushida.
Ikemen Jiro.
Yeah, Ikemen Jiro, Mr. Handsome Man here. Style strong. Was already a joke, Manny. Was already a joke. They didn't make it.
Don't do that to Kushida. Don't do that to Kushida.
I begged for this for longer. I said they should have released Kushida. Kushida does not deserve this. And you said no, he deserved it because the jacket opened up in their intro. That's what you said, Manny. That's what you said.
I didn't just say he deserved to become a joke. I said he deserves the time on the TV because that jacket opens up to a clock. Watch next time. I'm going to paint a clock on my face and then become jacket time.
If you paint Manny, if you were to paint a clock on your face and I say this right now, to support Jacket Time and do the whole open up entrance, I will forever just agree with every comment you have for the rest of the history of this show. No matter what it is at that point, Manny's right. Manny's right. Fuck, Manny's right.
The lengths to go to become right.
Yeah.
So the next match was Cameron Grimes versus Andre Chase. The match was just there. It was only to get to the promo spot. It was only there to get to the promo spot at the end of the match, where Duke Hudson had generated images of what Grimes would look like after their match at Wargames. Grimes tries to shave Andre Chase, but he is saved by the guy that agreed with him in Glass 2 weeks ago.
Yes. Manny, was that did he get the graphic designers who's doing the latest 2K22 to do these images?
That looked like WWE 2K15. Those graphics were terrible.
They were bad. And I was like, And Duke just kept talking and talking. I thought we had, when they were in the barbershop channel last week, and they had their promos last week, I was invested. But this segment immediately took me out, and I was not interested in anything they were doing anymore. Damn it, Duke.
So we had 2 promo spots across the night. One for Idris Inofi.
You're closer than what I'm going to say. I wasn't even going to say it. I was just going to say Idris.
What did you think of that one?
I thought he had a good look. Nice ring gear. Solid. But he was nothing that blew me out the water going like, that's the next one. He the star. And then
during the main event, we got a promo spot for Draco Anthony. He was in a coffee shop.
And said his actions speak louder than words. I enjoyed that one because it had me intrigued, and he was super serious. He wasn't a shucking and jiving black man. He was about to go. He looked like he was about to whoop somebody's ass.
We don't know what he's capable of yet. He could come out shucking and jiving for all we know.
No. Be like, wait, that's not what he portrayed in that coffee shop. You can say someone that's quiet, and he looked very dangerous. He looked like a kind of like I want to say a murderer, but not really.
Yeah, he looked too small though. I don't know if what he was wearing. He does look quite small.
He looks very small in his little chair. Like I was like, but I was in to see more of what he's planning on offering.
But do you know what these spots just said to me?
What's that?
Hey AEW, where your color at?
We just released 20 black people. 2 more debuting with video packages. And AEW's response: Lee Moriarty skipping to the ring, shucking and jiving.
So we get Team 2.0 come to the ring. Mello says they are the future of WWE. He tells Johnny he had food on his plate for years, and he ain't asking him to share. He's asking him to run him his plate. Grayson Waller said some nonsense that made no sense.
He's a sports entertainer. I'm a sports entertainer, and you need to understand that.
Tony D'Angelo also said nothing of importance. I care about him as much as I care about Apollo's fake accent. Bron Breakker says they are overlooking Team 2.0, and that's fine. At Wargames, they're going to win, and then he's coming for that NXT title.
I want all of them to shut up.
I don't know what his beef is with Tommaso Ciampa. He lost, yet he's still angry about it. The fact that he lost clean to Tommaso Ciampa.
He lost. You just keep calling him Pop and stuff. He always represents family. I think it's just, anger about that. But I think he lost, and it's still eating away at him. And, I'm okay with his anger. He's the only person with motivation. I think I enjoyed him and Mello's spot, but then when they went to Waller and D'Angelo, I was like, what is this team?
Yeah. I don't think the Waller gimmick's going to last very long.
I feel like he's going to be...
he's going to have to change. He's going to have to change for that to work.
No, I think not only is he not going to change, Manny, he's going to team up with Daddy's girl at one point.
Yeah, probably. Tony D'Angelo, I think, is probably a main roster gimmick. That's literally going to be called up, and that's going to be the Russian. It's basically Rusev or Santino on steroids. That's what it's going to be on the main roster because that's what Vince likes and that's what Vince does. So Johnny Gargano comes out and says Team 2.0 live in a fantasy land, talking about how they're going to beat the guys that put NXT on the map. If it wasn't for them, they'd have no ring to stand in. And he calls Bron Breakker the big bad booty nephew.
We're stuck with not only the crowd, but with I think everybody that heard it. The booty nephew.
And Marcus, I'm done with MSK. After that segment, I hate it even more. What a colossal waste of time.
We're still not done yet, Manny. We're still not done. And nothing's on the cliffhanger.
How many weeks was this? How many weeks has this been going on?
As someone said, it took. I think it was one of them said it took us 5 weeks to get here. My favorite thing is still. My favorite thing is the lazy ass. We're in a car. I'm gonna act like we're in a car. Cut to the traffic lights. They're just sitting still. They're not moving.
Another thing that bothered me.
None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense.
Do you know what that bothered me more? It wasn't. It was the case of it wasn't even real. So they made it look like they were turning. They put the indicator lights on. The wheels didn't move. None of the scenery moved. I was like, what the hell is going on? I am done with this team. Who do you think the shaman is now? I think it has to be RVD.
Has to be. It has to be. That is it. That is it. That's all we're going to, I think. I feel like that's where we're going to for 5, probably 6 weeks by the time this shit ends. And we're going to find out at Wargames who the shaman is. But, my God.
So Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wanger defeated Legado del Fantasma. The tag match was actually kind of good. Zion Queen comes out and attacks Santos during the match, and then more sexual tension in the NXT parking lot between Zion and Electra.
I still thought he was gonna get attacked. And I think he thought he was getting attacked. Because after she started talking, it was like, I'm watching. And then she walked away, and then he kind of was like, what the fuck? No one's attacking? Oh, shit. First, in this parking lot, in this day and age, they really did get all the scum of the earth. They really did fire everybody. Because back in my day in NXT, you be in that parking lot, you better have a gun because you're going to get fucked up by somebody. Whether it's Kevin Owens breaking your arm off camera or someone trying to run you over or carry across a Scarlet just driving by or whatever's going on. Cameron Grimes and Priest. Watch out.
So we get the Joe Gacy all-inclusive invitational. The cruiserweight division under Joe Gacy will no longer have a height requirement, weight shaming, or a gender bias. I kind of like this whole thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of dumb, but it works. He defeats the first person, but before the woman gets a go, they're interrupted by Dynamite.
Hit that woman. He had his fist cocked. He made to be quick with it. Like, Bob, bitch. What the fuck? Joe Gacy ain't shit.
And then Dynamite planned to shut him up for good after Wargames, and Roddy gets his ass handed to him as he tries to cheap shot Gacy.
Manny, all right, I know where we got to with this match with Dynamite and Bivens and everything like that. They ended up fighting and all that. I just wanted him to have his all-inclusive fight all of it. I wanted him to beat him in 3 different ways. I wanted him to beat the other guy who was the 205 guy and just beat him. Then I wanted the fat guy to get in, and I wanted him to, you know how he was against fat shaming? I wanted him to fat shame beat him by just getting him tired and pinning him.
Wait. Also, that guy was wearing a dress.
Yeah. He had a full-on moo-moo on or whatever. And I wanted him to be out there fat shaming and being the hippo in a crate that he is. Out there fat shaming a fat man in a match. And then I wanted him to just throw the woman out the ring. Just for, not because I am in force of men or women violence, but I'm just saying, just to make him a hippo in a crate of being all-inclusive and a good person. Just being, do the worst possible thing and just being like, bitch. Oh, what the hell, Casey? That's what I wanted from this segment. If they did this 2 weeks ago, I would understand it. And then if he was like, I'm going to do it again, and then Diamond Mine, who's a heel faction, by the way, is on their way, I would have been for it. But the all-inclusive title, I want.
Yeah, and then we get Solo Sikoa versus Idris Enofe. In the back, he's interviewed by Mackenzie. He said this is an Inglewood. even though they come from similar backgrounds. And then Boa interrupts him, clearly suffering.
What did you
Speaking
eat,
in
Boa? What did you eat in catering? Again, more evidence that AEW's catering is better than WWE's catering. As in, one, there's no complaints. Two, Eddie Kingston wanted that cake and thought it looked delicious, made me want it. And three, Boa clearly had food poisoning this week.
I don't
Or
actually
going
see
through
it.
withdrawals.
So we mentioned the promo package, but I didn't see anything special with Inoue.
No, me
Because
either.
he was there
Like,
to be squashed.
yeah, I have to support him because he's from Inglewood, California, which is, a mile away. A black man coming from that community, gotta support him. And, he went to the service and the Marine. He had that full video package. Like, everything is well, but he needed, I think, it shouldn't have been new guy on new guy. He needed a veteran in there to work with him.
He needed a squash match. He shouldn't have been the one getting squashed.
Yeah. I'm going to say this right now. They both needed Malik Blade. They both needed Malik Blade at this current moment to wrestle.
Yep. And then Marcus the Fire Nation attacked.
And then they teamed up. Like, Solo Sikora's like, what the fuck is wrong with your boy Boa? I don't know. He's not my boy. He's going to find Darby and Sting with his face paint. They stuffed him out. And Boa got his.
So we get to I don't know what to call this. Indy Hartwell and Persia Pirotta versus the Bird Lady and some other lady.
I like the Bird Lady and some other lady. And I thought they had a nice showing of the whatever the moonsault was. And there was that drop kick off the top rope. I thought that was a good showing. Other than that, this match was trash. And Indy Hartwell might be the worst wrestler they've gotten from Australia.
Do you know what? They need to sort out her gimmick because ever since this marriage thing, she's been ruined.
Well, it was the way. It's not the marriage. It's Candice LeRae got pregnant and killed the way. It just can't be her and Johnny and Dexter.
The match was trash. And then we get the main event of Johnny Gargano versus Bron Breakker in the ladder match. This may be the last time people see Johnny Gargano on NXT TV.
Yep.
I mean, he signed a week extension, which takes him, I think, over till next week. So he may say a farewell next week or have a farewell match on Tuesday. But this may be the last time you see Johnny Gargano on NXT TV, and his last match will probably be Takeover in the Wargames match. This match was great. The Frankensteiner off the top rope was a thing of beauty.
Yep. You know what? I immediately had flashbacks of with Edge. This is the Hurricane Rana's up to the top rope. But yes, so the Frankenstein off the top rope. I was like, man, Rob Breaker, he's the guy. He's the guy.
He's definitely the guy.
He's definitely the guy. Once you start doing Hurricane Rana's off the top rope, he's the guy.
So El Lucha said Gargano versus Danielson. No, it'll be Gargano versus what's his face? Who's TNT champion?
Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, that guy.
If Tony Nese don't beat him this Friday.
Tony Nese ain't beating no one. Tony Nese will be back. Tony Nese will be on AEW Dark.
Tony Nese can't beat his meat. Tony Nese can't beat his meat. That's how bad. That's what he's beating. He ain't beat his meat.
Tony Nese is going to be on AEW Lights Out. Not even Dark. Lights Out.
AEW 205.
Just him and Davari wrestling for eternity.
So I know Kyle is out for sure. There's nothing about him and Von Wagner that says this is long-term booking and that we have plans for you. Gargano is going to be... It's a little part of me is sad to see him leave since he is Mr. NXT and all that. But he has no place in WWE. But I also feel he has no place in AEW because there's a million guys just like him. Undersized guys that throw super kicks and stuff. And I like them.
So let me just change this up. I was thinking, do you know how we talked about the news sites trying to throw out that, Cody's contract coming up in 2022, Kenny's contract coming up in 2022. I'm more concerned about the other ones. like the MJF, the Darby, the Sammy Guevara, and all that, they're going to get to a point because they're not EVPs. They're going to get to a point when it comes to their contract, they've got bargaining chips on the table. They could. I don't think they would, but they're able to command more contract because I would be thinking myself if I was like the likes of MJF or them, where do I go? Because they keep bringing in new talent because WWE keeps releasing all the talent. So you get these guys on the market. They're able to test the market.
Yeah.
Which I would do. Because, you may have a terrible time over there, but you get paid your worth. You're not getting a job. As WWE always say, you're not getting a job there. You're getting an opportunity.
Yeah, but Manny, I don't believe there is a market for these guys in AEW. I don't think WWE is going to bid for any of them. And
I think they bid for
no matter how much traction no matter how much traction they get, I don't think they're going to make a big. If they go after them, it's not going to be a big bid. We're not throwing the bag at anybody. I think they're going to just say, we'll offer you this. It's not going to be that much more than what you were getting in AEW. If they have a better offer, go take that. Because I think WWE is currently in. We're going to keep our own guys. We're going to do the NXT route and have our own farm system, and we're just going to use our guys now. And I think that's the point where they've got, when they were talking about we're not signing indie talent, they consider, I believe in their front offices, they're going to consider AEW indie talent, and that they're not signing any of these guys. And say, AEW, go ahead, have carte blanche. You may not be able to sign all these guys yourself, or give them the money they deserve, but I think the market is closed, and WWE's only interest currently is signing either their former legends of some kind, whoever's out there, whether it's bringing back a Danielson or some shit like that, or calling up the guys from NXT that they are preparing for the main roster. Because that's what Vince wants. He doesn't want these indie guys anymore. That's their call.
I still think there's a market. I think they'll still test them. I feel like some of them will still test that market.
Yeah, they'll test it. And they'll probably say, Vince offered me this much to get a better deal, but I don't think WWE is in the business of offering any of these guys. And it's not saying that they're not talented. I'm not saying MJF. I would throw the bag at MJF personally. Darby, I feel like the fans, I can sell so much merchandise with Darby, it'd be ridiculous, but I don't think he'd sell his soul to join WWE because they won't let him do half the crazy shit that AEW lets him get away with. I would try to make money, I'll do it, but I don't believe that's the business WWE's in right now. They're in the NXT business.
Yeah, I think they're in the NXT business, but I think they'll still leave the door open for some of them. They may say no, but I feel like they may still leave the door open for some of them. So that is today's show, people. We will be back on Saturday with the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I am, of course, hosting because Eric's got some stuff to do prior to that, which means I'm still in control of all these buttons.
Wait a minute. Flaming Pikachu was not used for the Cody match. I would have threw that up if I was an AEW producer. Oh, why?
Why? If I had more control on what we can do on StreamYard, confused Pikachu would start off as a very small corner and like over here, and then just gradually just get bigger and control the whole screen.
As the show increases, Pikachu just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Going back to Levi's comment earlier about what's your highlight of the wrestling year, and I think the one that's going to be remembered the most, it has to be AEW's All Out, as in the biggest moment of the year, in which every WWE release. I'm going to say just as a moment. As in all the AEW releases and the people that showed up with Cole, Danielson, and Punk, it seemed like the stars aligned, and that was the peak of what AEW could and
I wouldn't say that's a moment. That was probably probably the best pay-per-view of the year. I would say moment is CM Punk returning. That's what every wrestling fan will say. CM Punk returning is probably the biggest moment in wrestling this year.
Yep, in Chicago. True.
Yeah. It made that guy cry. He was about 40 years old. You ain't catching me crying about nothing in wrestling.
These tears run cold.
Except if Billie Kay returns to WWE, defeats Barefoot Charlotte, you may see some tears.
Oh my god!
It happened! Oh my god!
But you know what? In a year recap, there's been some memorable moments this year. You know, it's been some memorable moments. Whether
we got
you're
drunk on live stream.
Black women made event WrestleMania.
Walter Dragunov 2 was a great match.
Yeah.
A series of like good AEW pay-per-view matches. It's been a great year for wrestling, really. Like,
yeah. But most people ain't focused on all the negative. Oh my god, NXT died, whatever, or whatever. Cody ending racism.
that was last year, wasn't it?
Was that last year or this year? Him and the Go-Go. I think that's this year.
Was that this year?
Cody went through like 80 storylines this year randomly.
Oh, you're right, sir.
Shut the fuck up. I'm busy. I'm doing a show.
So that is the end of the show. We'll be back Saturday, and I'm not doing it I'm not ending the show how I ended it on Tuesday. We'll be back Sunday. I don't know.
All right. Also, maybe if Manny don't do it, I will do the return of the year in review quiz. If we have any participants, any buyers, any shakers, just put yourself in the comments.
No, I'll do it.
I'll do it.
I will do it. I liked hosting it because I got to wear a suit.
But we just need the participants. And I feel like I'm a loaded gun. I'm going to win. I'm undisputed.
I don't know. If we include Jamal, you could lose.
I feel like Jamal, his vast watching will hurt his memory for who fought when and where and why.
But El Luchador's in. I feel like we're just gonna leave Eric out because he performed so poorly the last time.
Well, everybody has to have a loser. Everybody has to have a Clippers in their league. And that's not taking shots at my team, but you know, we are.
I'm glad you went with your team and not any of mine today.
I was thinking of the Jets. I was going to go to Jets, but everybody got to have the Jets.
They won last week.
I know. I don't want to bring it up. I don't bring people up when they win.
Which means I'm 1 win away from being right about my prediction. 4 wins. 4 wins. Yeah, so we'll be back Saturday for your SmackDown and Rampage, where we talk about Rampage Brown, not Rampage.
Just Rampage Brown. In-depth look into the life of Rampage Brown.
More important,
basically his match. More important, his match with Dragunov. Yeah.
Which is on now.
Bizarre.
Actually, we'll be on in about half an hour.
Yep.
Because
I'll probably watch that.
It's the main event, and that's probably going to be a half an hour match. So, yeah, go ahead and watch that with your spare time on the Peacock or the WWE Network.
Are we ever going to get an NXT UK special again?
Probably. It won't.
It don't seem like it. It just seems like that.
Maybe that WrestleMania week again. That was a hard week. You know, if you think about it, that was a hard week for streaming because we did that. We did 2 nights of NXT TakeOver, and we did 2 nights of WrestleMania.
I like that.
In that week, difficult week.
It was a good week for those who like to watch Walter wrestle. He had 2 matches in the same week, and the main event the match with him and Ciampa was in jeopardy due to Rampage Brown.
Man, I'm sad we don't get Walter Rampage Brown again.
One more time.
We'll be back next week. This Saturday. I keep thinking I don't know what I'm on. I've said the outro so many times. We'll be back on Saturday. Peace.
Well, you blew up the show to start it.
Press the wrong button. Things happen.
You killed.
I didn't. I did it correctly. How dare you?
Kill us again. You killed.